Hello, friends. This is Sanjay with Top Dog Realtors. There we go. We are the top dogs. Yeah, we know we know how to sell. I've been in the industry almost 10 years. Done residential, commercial, business brokerage, whatever you need. I'm here to help you. Um, so let's move forward. Today we're going to talk about properties that are currently listed on the market, and we're going to look at properties that have sold pending. I just want to give you a basic understanding of if you are in the market to purchase a property. So whenever you see, I'm just going to go basic. For sale is the one that's available currently today on the market. Anything that's pending means it is past inspection. So the buyer is very extremely serious about moving forward on this property. Okay, so if you are planning to put uh, an offer here, the chances are very minimum to get that property. Okay, but the thing is, deals do fall out the last second. Deals, I tell you something, deals do fall out at the last second. It is a very normal process, but 90% of the time it goes through. Okay. Um, let's try sold means just recently sold. It was listed for 135, sold for 130. Now I don't see something. Let me see. Under contract. So anytime you see a property that says under contract or says active under contract means there is a contract that a buyer has presented to the seller. The seller has accepted it. They're probably going through inspections. That's the first process. Now, what happens through the inspections, the buyer may find a lot of defaults and they would come back to the seller and say, hey, Mr. Seller, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, let's talk, let's negotiate. There's so much damage. This is what I want to be adjusted. Now, what happens is when you are dealing with an under contract, your chance of getting that property is much greater than your chance of winning that property under a pending sale. So this deal, 50% of the chances it does fall apart. Okay. And the reason is because the buyer is demanding too much for the damage and the seller says, oh. Next. Okay. There are some sellers that are eager and willing to move forward. Now, let's say, for example, you like this property, it's listed at 275,000. You're a cash buyer or you are a finance. I'm going to explain to you both process of how it works. So if you're a cash buyer, you tell the seller, you know what, I give you 285 for the property. Okay. You make an offer 285. Now, if it's under contract and the inspection and the buyer comes back to the seller, say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, you know, that we got to make this adjustment. If the seller sees that there is a better backup offer already there, the seller might just let that buyer go and say, listen, no, this is the price. I'm not going to negotiate further. So if you want to move further, let's move. And then it's up to the buyer whether to accept or to back out. A lot of times they back out. So you have a better chance of getting. Now, if you are a cash buyer, so then the deal goes at 285. You make the inspection, and if you fall something, then work it out something with the seller if you really love that property. Another thing, if you are doing financing, okay, this is a catchy situation that a lot of sellers don't understand. And, you know, a lot of realtors also don't understand. But you know, it's a business, and we are in that business. You know, it takes a long time to really understand this kind of business. But here's the trick to this. So let's say you are buying this property as financing. And what happens is it's listed for 275 and you really love it. You can come with a contract for 325 on this property. Now, if the seller says, oh my God, this is a property, oh my God, I'm getting 325. Yeah, let's take this one, forget the current buyer. What the seller does not understand is there is a contingency, an appraisal contingency. So that comes from the bank. Now, the bank is going to appraise the property value no matter what price you put on that property. If the property gets appraised and the lender says, oh, you know what, even though we offered you 325, doesn't mean that we are going to give you 325. What we that's just a number. The property is going to sell at the appraised value. So if the appraised value of this property is, let's say, 265, then it's up to the buyer to pay 275 if they're asking. So be very careful, sellers in particular, be very careful when you see a financing contract coming your way. So, you know, it might seem like a whole lot, but if it's a financing contract, the lender is not going to approve it. Whatever the market value is, this is what you get. Maybe a few things here and there, few upgrades, whatever it is, you might get a little bit more, but you got to be very, very careful. You know, there's some really tricky agents in the market. So you got to be very, very careful on what you have currently and what you're looking. But from the buyer's point of view, yeah, you don't have to pay 325. You can, I mean, I don't know which buyer would pay 60, 80,000 above asking price. That market is gone. It was that situation a couple months ago. In fact, a few months ago, there were properties coming on the market, and boom, before we even, I mean, we listed it under coming soon. It wasn't even listed like 100%. It was like just 30, 40% on the market. Next thing you know, we got like 10 contracts on it, and everybody's pounding on that. Well, that market is gone. We are entering into a buyer's market, but yet the market value in Broward County is still stable. Um, there's a lot of market going downwards in a lot of places, but fortunately, we are very lucky. It is not going towards that direction as of yet. You know, you gotta see. I recently posted a video on my Facebook page. This one right here. Are we heading for another market crash to happen? This one will clearly explain to you what's the process that's going on today. Okay, it tells you the actual sales that is, and it is pretty good. Okay, but yeah, so under contract, if you are a buyer, this is a good place to approach, because then you have more possibility of getting that property than actually losing it. But it's a 50-50 chance. So all these under contracts. Let's look at a couple of properties. Let's see what's going on with the property. So this one here, my friends, this one is located on 13th Street, okay, in Fort Lauderdale. Beautiful, very nice, nice. It looks like one of those modern homes. Yeah, you see, this is extremely popular nowadays. It is very straightforward, and they're really nice from inside. A lot of them have already, you know, some of them, they equip solar panels, the windows, impact windows. So it's really nice. It's been on, let me see, been on the market 389 days. Wow. So that's past a year, man, and it's still on the market at 830. Ooh, better gotta reduce the price, because this is actually a new construction, limited collection, but 389 days on the market. With today's market, the market, it's like we're still selling even though it has slowed down, we're still selling properties within 60 days. So, ooh, that's a little bit steep. Uh, Unless they're putting gold in the house, I don't know what they're giving away at the house. All right, so anyways, it's there. If you want to purchase 830, you want to make an offer, I'll be more than happy to put an offer, or have your real estate agent put an offer for you. What offer? Well, we can always uh, find out what's the actual value of similar properties. It's not going to be the exact, but we can always find out the value of what's really going on. So this is phase 2 construction site. So it's not been set up. They're going to make it. Phase 1 is sold out, but phase 2 is under construction. So it looks like a pre-order. Could be a pre-order, or this one is probably already listed. I don't know why. It's kind of confusing when, you know, when agents put one shows how it looks, and the next thing they put a pre-construction site. Man, what are you trying to sell? Are you taking orders for the new house, or are you selling this actual house? It's kind of confusing, but you have to go there and see what's really going on. Let's look at some other properties for sale. Then do load more. So if you want a list like this, now if you're a seller looking to sell on the market, I would highly suggest to connect to your agent or reach out to me, because this is very important stuff. It's going to tell you. So let's say if you're in the area over here, it will tell you what your competition is really listed for. I can go a deep further. I can go a couple of steps further. I can give you the pending sales. I can provide you what recently sold. I can provide you who took it off the market. That's a very good thing. Now, how does it work? Pricing. Look, pricing is fun. The way pricing is, if you have no competition, let's say, for example, this house right here, three and a half, $3.8 million. There's no competition whatsoever. There's nobody around it. So that's a chance when you steep it up a little bit. You know, you get more for the value, and then you see how the market is going. But if it's secluded, if there's so much over there, you know, a lot of them in that, you see, like this area right here in Sunrise, in Plantation right here, this is what Plantation, yeah, seems like Plantation. So if you see so many over there, then you got to stay competitive. But if you don't see anybody, like this guy, it's the only guy, he's the big boss. There's no competition, why not? You can always end up getting a lot more than this, but it all depends on what's really the market value and everything. Let's look at another one. Let's look at this beautiful house, $1.9 million. Okay, this is in Pompano Beach. Seems like it's close to the lighthouse point. They have some really beautiful houses there. Let me tell you something about Pompano Beach. Pompano Beach, Parkland, Coral Springs. Let me just, Boca, okay? These areas, the houses that you find in this area, you're not gonna find the same amount of land space anywhere in South Florida. You may find in Southwest Ranches, of course, that's another one. But let's look at the house. Wow, oh, nice. This is a waterfront. For that price, it's crazy. That's cheap, man, for a waterfront. That's like giveaway. Plus it has a pool. Plus it's a two-story custom built home. Okay. Got a lot of land space. You got fencing, a couple of palm trees. That is a beautiful house, man. $2 million. And it's a cul-de-sac. So cul-de-sacs are properties that are a little bit slightly larger than an actual single family home. So that is what, like this one also, you see, slightly larger. So as you can see, this is a beautiful property, man. $1.9 million, that's very cheap. I mean, it's reasonable, I would say. Lot of custom, very nice decor, extremely nice. Okay, so on the market, 1.9 is 5 beds, 4 beds, 3,000 square feet. So it's really updated. So 3,000 square feet, it's up and down. Okay, it's been on the market for 49 days. They are looking for offers. Let's see. In Garden Isles, located in Garden Isles. 2-car garage, pool. Year built 1959. So it seems like what they have done is that they have rescoped the entire home. They went and they redid the entire home. So they did a very, very good job. Let's see. Schools. So beautiful property, you know. 49 days on the market. It's okay for properties in the millions. It takes it takes roughly 90 to 120 days to sell. That's the roughly age. Even when the market was peak, it was taking between 60 to 90 days for them to sell because 1.9 million. I mean, you would be surprised. There were people coming with cash like, hey, give it to me, $2.5 million. I'm ready to take. Like people from upstate New York, for them, a house like this in New York, man, it would be like $20 million. They were coming cash. Yeah, give me this property, 2.5. Let's go. So that's the good thing about it. Let's just look at one less property. Let's look at this guy with no competition at all. So Lime Bay condominium, I believe this one is a 55 plus. I used to deal in 55 zone, but they have so many restrictions, man. It is just impossible to deal with some of these associations. So it's in Broward County, 425 a month. That's a little bit steep. Two bed, it's been on the market for 28 days. And let's look at some images. Oh, that's a nice view. Big patio. And it seems like the community is right here. The pool and everything. Yeah, the pool is there. The community center is there. Very nicely done. It's an open open landscape, open field, open rooms. Nicely done. So 137,000 to purchase, been on the market 28 days, still there. Yeah, it's a 55 plus location. Lime Bay 8. And that's it. Let's look one more. I want to tell you, if you are looking for an investment property, if you need investment properties, let me know. Slowly by slowly, they're popping up. Now, I sometimes run into clients, into buyer clients. They're looking for investment properties, but they want to spend $400,000, $500,000, $600,000. You don't do that. I mean, unless you got deep pockets, deep pockets, then it's good. So if you want investment residential property, let me know. I work with many investors. I mean, and I can really find you properties with no rental restrictions so that you can go and start renting. Now, the rental market today is extremely good. Couple months ago, you could not find a one bedroom for less than $1,800. Now the price has fallen a little bit, but still, if you want, see the purpose of buying residential investment property is that you want to have a good return. You want to make sure that you are getting at least a decent ROI, return on your investment. What is a decent? 6.5%. Okay, so there are some properties which we sold recently that have 8, 10, 12, 12.5%. So if you want investment properties, let me know. I have a lot of knowledge in this, and I know very exactly to look for and get you, even if they have rental restriction. Let's take, for example, one of these properties. I just want to show you. Let's take this one property right here. Okay. It's a rental restriction. I believe this location has a 2-year rental restriction. Means you cannot lease it for 2 years. But as an investor, you would probably ask, what are you, crazy? Why am I buying this property if I have a 2-year rental restriction or a 1-year rental restriction? There's two reasons. Number one, no investor would buy over here. That's number one, because it has restrictions not to rent. Number two, when you rent it, you get a much higher value, a much higher rental. Because if somebody's looking to rent, wants to come in this location because their job is close by and there's nothing, you get a lot more. In places like this, they rent for $2,100-$2,500 a month, 2 bedrooms. Crazy. I have one next to me, just rented out for $1,900 for a single bedroom, and I tell you something, it is amazing the prices you get. Of course, you end up paying for the first year or first couple of years. The other reason, the third reason to this is it holds the market value. When you have too many tenants in a condo association where there's no rental restrictions, it jeopardizes the market value of an ownership. Means it just messes it up. Okay. So any place where there's a rental restriction, if you're an investor, go for places like this, because that's where your money is going to hold its value. There's a lot of things. I'm saying this from experience because I've been there. But besides that, think about it. If you get, this is a one bedroom, if you get $1,800, for example, on this, okay, 1,800, the property tax is, let's say, $200 a month. Insurance is what, another $20 a month. Let's say $50 a month, just to be overpriced. Yeah, that's 2,050. Yeah, $250, sorry. And this one is quarterly, let's say 1,800, 250 and $600 more. That's $850 you expense every single month. Okay. When it's time to rent, and you can easily get 1,900 for this place easily. Okay. After the 1 year rental restriction. If you look at, if 850 is your cost and you're making $1,800, man, you're making $950 net profit. If you make the calculation, that's almost like 40, 45, 48% ROI, return on your investment. That is huge. Of course, if you take away the first year that there's a rental restriction, or a second year, still, even if you do it second year, your return on interest on investment is still at 16%. That is not bad at all, man. That is amazing. I mean, you put your money in the bank, how much you think they're going to give you? Nothing. So why, put money where you can get good investments back. You want to. So if you're interested in investment property, let me know. I have a lot. You want business properties, you want commercial real estate, you want residential nice investment property. In fact, land is very, very good. Okay. With so many new construction going on, so many places for sale, land value has gone down a bit. So invest into land. Any place you see land, invest into it. I'm telling you, the return is outstanding, man. When we hit a market like this today, what we just recently hit, man, lands were selling more than the price of the house. So that's how good it became. So anyways, guys, thank you for your time. This is Sanjay Wadhwani with Top Dog and Grand Realty. Any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. Number is 954-864-9161. Go to Top Dog Commercial and Residential Real Estate. Follow me over there. I'm always posting a lot of stuff there. This is on Facebook. And if you want to reach out to me on my website, I'll share with you my website information also. Realty Fusion, Florida. Okay. It is the most updated website. It is exactly at market value. Okay. And here you can get a lot of information. So if you're a seller, just want a valuation report on your property, just want to make sure, just want to get a basic idea of what's going on, put your stuff in there. I'll reach out to you. Let's meet someday. Whether you want to sell or not, whether you want to buy or not, that's okay. I always like to network with people and, go from there. So once again, thank you so much for watching and have a blessed weekend. Thank you. Bye-bye.